Welcome to Ponchatoula Live, the show where we make it easy for you to connect with the people of Ponchatoula. I'm your host, Parker Layrisson, and today I've got not one but two terrific guests. Now, if you've watched this show before, you know that I love to promote local businesses, local job creators, the kind of businesses that not only may create a job for you, your husband, your wife, the people in your life, but keep the money here in the community. And so I love it when I find a local business that's run by genuinely good people that are doing good things for the community and really stepping up and putting their money where their mouth is. And I have that type of person or people here today. So with no further ado, I bring to you Steve Marcotte and Ciara Davis with Cart and Swim. We're going to talk in a bit about their business and the good things they're doing and the reason I say those nice things about them. But before we get there, why don't we just kick off? Steve, Ciara, whoever's, would like to go first, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Ciara. I am a mama of two babies. Well, I say babies. One's 15 and one's 8. And I've been with Cart and Swim for 11 years.
Oh, wow. So, and Steve, you've not even been with Cart and Swim that long. Is that right?
What's that?
I said, well, how long? You haven't been with Cart and Swim that long, right? You just bought it more
Uh,
recently, right?
Twice that.
Oh, twice
I've
that.
been
Oh,
there a
okay.
little over, I think 20-something years. I worked with Jeff, and then
And then, okay,
March
so
of,
you've been there forever, but you just bought it when? When did
March
you?
of 23.
Oh, cool, great. So
Yeah.
good. So you have been there, both of you, really, for all the good stuff we'll talk about with Tark and whatnot. So,
Yes, sir.
Steve, tell us about yourself. You've been with Cart and Swim that long. Ciara's a mama who's been there for a while. What about you? What are you into?
I got 3 kids. I got a son that's 30, and I got twin daughters that are 28, and 7 grandkids.
Oh, wow. Well, you got so that that's going to expand with time. One of my favorite guests, probably my single favorite interview I've ever done on this show was Mr. Reggie Peavy, and I attended his funeral earlier today, the visitation with his family, and I'm talking to one of his grandsons that grew up with my little brother, and he told me that he had 79 grandkids and great grandkids, and so counting his 7 children, there were like 86 heirs there. So you're on your way. You're a young man, so who knows where your number will end. But both of y'all, are off to a good start. First and foremost, I want to thank you for making the time to be on the show. I know y'all are busy. Your successful business is thriving, and there's a lot to do. And so that y'all would take the time to be with us is something I really appreciate. So, Ciara, you mentioned, being a mama, working, Steve, you've got not only kids but grandkids in the community. What does it mean to you to be bringing your children up here in Ponchatoula, Hammond area? I mean, is this the kind of community you've enjoyed raising children in, or why'd you choose it?
So I am originally from Covington. My husband is from Ponchatoula, born and raised here, and we moved to La Ranger 4 years ago. So we've loved it here. We still visit here a lot because the Swimmer in-laws still live. Um, we love Ponchatoula. It's great.
Well, it's neat to see for a rare change the woman following the guy. Around here it seems like there's a lot of Ponchatoula girls that bring these out of town husbands around. But I'm glad we were able to kind of recruit some talent the other direction. What about you, Steve? Why have you decided to be around here and stay so long and raise your family here?
Well, I actually live in Ascension Parish because my wife has 2 more years of teaching, and then she'll be
Oh,
done.
cool.
But my kids all live in Ascension, and but I've been working here 5 or 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. So I'm here all
Yeah,
the time.
you probably spend as much time here in Ponchatoula as you have there at home.
That's
So,
probably more in Ponchatoula than at home.
how'd you get into the go kart business? And all y'all do? How did you get to Cart and Swim in the first place?
I started back when Jeff and my uncle were partners, and then I was just working for Jeff at the time, and then before you knew it, I guess I was kind of his right hand man, I guess you'd say, and then here we are today.
And what about you, Ciara? How did you find your way there?
I've been knowing Steve since I was about 12. And when I was Probably 23 is when I started working for him. He asked me if I wanted a job, so I just started working for him, and I just never left.
Her and my kids used to hang out at Cajun Water World, where we
Oh yeah, cool,
that place.
Yeah.
So
Well, like you, I'm a big believer in hiring from the people you know in real life. So I've got, my wife's cousin in one office, and my dad's old wildlife and fisheries partner's granddaughter in another office, and my former checkout girl from Bonins. It helps when you kind of know the backstory, right? Doesn't guarantee it's always going to work out, but at least you kind of know any red flags coming in. So that's neat that you guys have been able to work together that long as kind of old family friends. So tell us about the business and kind of what goes into it, because we see the flashy stuff like the custom go-karts you give to Tark that are always just so amazing, but I'm sure there's a lot more to it. So, kart, swim, bring us through the whole rundown of what y'all do.
So we sell above ground swimming pools. We don't install them, but we sell them. We sell a lot of in-ground pool liners. We customize, we repair the golf carts. So if anybody ever wants to bring one in and they're like, hey, I want, a cool paint job, we can do that. That's really it for the most part. And then we brainstorm a whole lot for that Tark cart. So
yeah. Clearly the planning, I can't wait to get into that in a little while, because the planning, it's evident in the product that you turn out, because whether it's a sports theme like a Tiger card or a Saints card, or just whatever direction you go into, it's amazing the creativity that we've seen come out of you guys over the years, as well as the quality of workmanship. So let me ask you specifically, the cart repair you mentioned. Do you just repair certain brands of carts, or is it anything with a battery? What just so folks out there who may need that, because I imagine it's that season where people are we're looking forward to the spring weather. They're wanting to get out in the cart, but maybe they didn't maintain it right, and their batteries are down, or the tires are flat, or what. So what all could y'all do there to help people with golf carts?
The two brands we mainly work on is Easy Go and Club Car.
Okay. Cool.
We can customize anything, but as far as doing repairs and all that, it's mainly Club Car and Easy Go.
Yeah. So let's talk about the customized thing here. And what I'll try to do, and bear with me here, because I am known to be not the greatest in the world at tech, but I'm going to try to bring up. Here we go. The most recent cart. So first, let me give folks that may not know a little background on Tark. I'm blessed to be the president of Tark for the second year in a row. Tark is an organization that provides services to people with special needs and their families. And so historically, it used to be just little kids, but now it's little kids plus adults. I don't have nearly the time here to tell you all about Tark. And today's interview is not just about Tark. It's about these good people I'm interviewing. But just take my word for it, if you don't mind. It's the noblest of causes around here. These are people that really need services badly. It's an area that's really underfunded. In fact, in today's board meeting, we heard about all these Medicaid cuts that are coming, and these people, they really need it. So we're constantly in need of funds, and we try to get creative into how we fundraise. The kids raise money for us through Penny Power. So if you're in the community and your kid got a pizza party for Penny Power, you know a little bit about Tark. Our radiothon's coming up in March. The radio station locally in Hammond has blessed us with a lot of support there. It's great. Probably the most fun fundraiser we do is the golf cart rally. And so you can see here, folks, we have this beautiful customized golf cart that you guys gave this year to Melissa Dufresh right here in Ponchatoula. There is no more Ponchatoula family than the Dufreshes, right? Multiple generations have been mayor, judge, clerk of court, parish assessor, school board member. They've been in everything from the fire department to every realm of politics. So it was cool to see one of our local, favorite daughters, if you will, get it. But tell us about this cart and the customization that went into it. And then if you don't mind, Steve and Ciara, some of the prior years, because I looked this up today. We were able to raise $25,000 for Tark, for those special needs folks that I was talking about that need that money so much, thanks to your generosity. But that's just this year. Y'all have been doing this like for over a decade. We have literally raised hundreds of thousands of dollars thanks to your generosity and Jeff's generosity. So Anyway, that's my long lead in. Would the two of you mind telling us a little bit about this cart and what y'all did to come up with this?
I told him we needed something a little different this year. I was looking more of like a side by side type golf cart. I want it big this year. So it was.
You did. I don't know how many inches those tires are, but they look like they'd be fine on my 4-wheel drive car, you know?
Yeah, so they're actual truck tires. Those are
Oh,
actual
wow.
truck tires. Yeah, it was fun. That one was fun.
And that's perfect for the Dufreshes because those guys like to live in the woods and the swamps, and you know, they're not city dwellers, so to speak. You know, that's really cool. So let's talk prior years, Ciara, because like you mentioned, this is a break from prior years. What else have y'all done in prior years in terms of themes and approaches?
So the one that we did the 1 year for the LSU cart, I actually hand drew that one, and he took it over to have it airbrushed. So I did do that one. Just we try to make every year something different. I know for their 50th, we painted it the same color as the blue for them for their 50th.
Right.
So we did.
Now that would be last year's cart, right? Or
Yeah.
maybe the year before. Yeah, that was cool. So
Saints
I guess what I'm hearing is that you, Ciara, are more the artistic visionary, and then you hand it over to Steve, and you're like, Steve, get it done. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, well, we've been doing that even when Jeff was there. He just let me and her deal with it most of the time. And we try to just hear what people, like, hey, what are you doing? You should do something like this. You should do something like that. Then come to the office, and then we go from there.
That's really neat. And I was really happy to see this year because it was, I guess, last month we had our annual meeting for TARC, which is really a big kind of banquet celebration breakfast, if you will. And you guys were recognized for all of your generosity through the years, and you won a big award. And I thought that was just so well deserved because, clearly this is something that costs you a lot of money to donate such quality product as this, but also it's your time because as you've just described, it's not just some run of the mill, go give them the cart and back, y'all customize this thing and make it special. And every year it just seems like the anticipation builds up and it's like, how do they outdo what they did last year? And y'all find a way. And so we on the TARC board, I know I speak for Mike Latino, who's in that picture there with Melissa Dufresh. He's our CEO and our fearless leader. And I just know that we all appreciate it, from the two of us, Mike and I, to all the board and the employees. So I guess if you can do this for TARC, you can do this for anybody. So if you will, tell us about the services and kind of how that works. Because I live in one of those neighborhoods where there's a fair amount of golf carts going on. It's a subdivision, and people have them, and from people like me that have an older used golf cart to somebody buying new, but if the spirit moves somebody and like, this is the year I want to do it, how should they approach y'all and kind of what goes into that?
They just call us up and say, hey, I want to customize on my golf cart. We tell them to bring it by, and they tell us everything that we want. And
that's cool.
Yeah, we don't do sales no more. We did sales for a long time, and we did rentals for a long time, and we got out of all that. Now it's just customizing and repair.
And do people come to you usually with a firm vision in hand of what they want, or are there a lot of people like me that don't even know what to ask for and you kind of have to walk them through? How's that process work?
Probably 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them ask what kind of cart they got. They've been having it 10 years and they still don't even know what brand they got. It's out there, but it's white. I need to fix it. Okay. Yeah.
We have 2 golf carts in my family. The kind of city cart that I keep here in the garage at the house, and then the super duper old ancient hand-me-down from some golf course long ago that we keep at the farm that a friend was nice enough to give my brother. And I know nobody knows what kind that one is. It's like we just pray that it moves whenever we unhook it. But so if somebody like us Layrisson boys were coming in there and we didn't have a permit, what are the things to be thinking about? I mean, you mentioned this one has actual truck tires on it. So clearly tires are a thing, but nowadays golf carts are tricked out with all these music systems. And so what are the different things to be thinking about that go into this?
Seat colors. seat colors. You can get any single color that you want. Body color if you wanted to change the paint. Roof, you can change the roof different colors. You can get the LED lights underneath the wheels.
Different size lift kits.
Yeah, different
wheels,
size lift
tires,
kits. Like
rims.
anything. The possibilities are really endless. When
Bigger
it comes to
motors,
golf
bigger
carts.
controllers, lithium batteries. There's
Yeah.
and then
So
like
it's like a car or truck. You can just trick it out however you want, really.
yeah, and I think Bree did say if it's riding on the road, it's got to have blinkers, lights, brake lights, and
Right.
I think seat belts and a hazard sign. I think in the back to follow
Yeah,
all the rules.
so you're right. In Ponchatoula, you go check. You got to get street legal these days, which most golf carts I see are not. So that's a really good. So you guys can do that for folks that are in need of that. Is that right? These are
Yes,
all
sir.
things y'all do all the time.
Yes, sir.
Let me say. Oh, I want to share a comment here that just came in. And so, folks, if you're watching live, know that we do have the ability to share your comment live with Steve and Ciara. So I'm so glad my friend Ryan Griffin chimed in here. You two may recognize Ryan from TARC. He's both a participant at TARC and a former board member and colleague of mine. But he says, "How are you doing?" So, guys, Ryan's question: How you doing today? Y'all having a good day?
Yeah.
Doing good. Ready for the day to be over with.
Ryan is a fun guy. He and I go to lunch from time to time, and he's always an interesting guy. Ryan, you've been a loyal viewer of the show, and I appreciate you for checking in here once again. He's not alone. Tracy is here too, and Tracy says, "Hey, Tracy, thank you for tuning in to the show." So anybody else?
Probably getting ready for the radiothon, huh?
Absolutely.
Because
The
he's
radiothon, I'm glad you brought that up. It's on March 13th. They're going to be different people. TARC has what they call celebrities, and I've been blessed to do that long before I got on the board. And we have different time slots. So, but I know one good thing to report this year is there's so many people that volunteered to step up as celebrities and raise money for TARC that we kind of ran short on time slots. So my fellow board member and friend from Ponchatoula, Kevin Rayford, our parish assessor, has agreed to combine time slots with me so we can make room for somebody new. But I appreciate you, Steve, bringing up the radiothon. That's one thing I love about you guys and your business is y'all always support us, not just in your core focus of what y'all do, the customized cart, but in getting the word out on radiothon, on Penny Power. We really appreciate that from you guys. So how does it make you feel when you see somebody like Ryan, who's been with TARC so long and benefited from, how does it make y'all feel to know the good you're doing in the community through your generosity, through your creativity, and much more?
Feels good, yeah.
But it's good to see Ryan's out there running for it too. He tries to do his best.
He does. He hustles, and I try to call in. I have two radiothon for me is two things that day. My little time slot when I go get on the air, and then I always try to call in and donate to Ryan's too. So Ryan, put me down once again this year. I will be on your list as usual. You are as good an ambassador as TARC has ever had, and we're really grateful for you. So, folks, we're here with Steve Marcotte and Ciara Davis of Cart and Swim. Tell me about the above ground pool side of things. I mean, you're famous for your carts because they're so flashy and customizable and fun. But you're selling these pools too. They come in different slots, sizes, styles. I think I heard you say, Ciara, that you don't install them, but you do sell them. So if you would just walk us through that and how that works.
We sell 5 different size above ground swimming pools. Round ones, oval ones. We sell a lot of them. Since COVID, really, they're more sought after, I guess, because now the above grounds are a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But we still have our fair share of our in-ground pool liners too that we change out. So
pumps, motors.
So Steve, you've been with the business forever. How do these two things end up hooking up together? Because I don't always associate golf cart and pool. Were y'all doing a bunch of other things and you kind of narrowed to 2, or how did that come about?
Jeff and my uncle worked together way back then at Yogi, and then one was doing golf carts and one was doing pools, and they just kind of went together and started Cart and Swim.
I love it. That's like a peanut butter and jelly business story, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so your uncle and Jeff, they become partners. Clearly, it works out because you're along for the ride that long and take over the business as the owner. Um, Let me ask you this because we're blessed on this show from time to time with a variety of successful business people, and you kind of see all walks of life. Doctors, lawyers, business owners such as yourself. And one of the things I've liked about what we've been able to do here through this show is provide advice for that next generation in case they're listening. And I'm not naive enough to think a bunch of 20 somethings are watching a gray beard like me pontificate, but I know sometimes people, even older people like myself, have an entrepreneurial itch that they haven't scratched yet, if you will. And they will benefit heavily from the lessons they could learn from you. And so past episodes, people have been kind enough to kind of share some advice. So for you, the two areas of interest here, and I can break this down in separate questions or just kind of mention both, whatever your preference is. But I really kind of want to know, has there been like a secret sauce to the success of Cart and Swim that you've noticed? And if so, what it is? And also, and we can follow this up, when you have a business that's going to go to the next generation, that creates a complexity. It's kind of like old line is ready to retire and head out into the sunset, possibly. Young line is ready to take on the risk and reward that comes with ownership. So let me do these one at a time. But first, what's made Cart and Swim so successful? Like most businesses fail in the first year, certainly in the first 5 to 10 years. And you guys are decades into this and thriving and bigger and better than ever. What's been the secret to your success?
I don't know. I guess we all worked at it, and didn't give up. Working with people, as long as we all work together, sometimes you just want to throw the hat in and be done, but we stuck it all together. And I'm not going to say we all got along every day, you know what I'm saying? And I'll probably be the worst one to be hard to get along with, you know what I'm saying? That's all. But no, we did good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
We had Jeff as our boss for a long time, and sometimes he wasn't good to get along with. But
well, sometimes the boss has to be not good to get along with.
But sometimes I was the hard one to deal with, and a lot of times she's hard to deal with, and then Jeff would just get in the truck and leave, But it ain't been bad. It's I guess ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. If you want it, go for it,
Yeah. It sounds like just the resolve to do it and then the hard work to get through it. Ciara, you come on the scene later, but you've been there a while in leadership for a long time now. What's your advantage? What would you add to what Steve just offered about what he and Jeff did?
You just have to work hard. Nothing is going to be given to you super easy. There's days that we don't get along, but we're there. We are all there for the same goal, to be successful.
Well, and clearly it's working for you guys, and I admire that. And I thank you for sharing that, because who knows, your competitors just like mine could be watching. So, but you know what I've learned, because people will tell me, I do things like I'll write these books and I'll share them with people, and they're like, "Why are you giving away your secrets?" And my point of view has always been, knowing what to do is not the hard part; it's the doing it. It's like, are they going to get up and do what we've done? Probably not, and so every business has kind of its own order of procedures. And when we decided to become specialized at my firm and go from kind of your general small town firm that did everything to a shop that just does injury work, our list of things to do in an injury case went from 20 and 30 to 150 or whatever. Because as you know, as specialists, you start seeing things you didn't see when you did 10 things. But the other guys aren't going to do all that extra stuff, So it sounds to me like what you guys have done is put your head down and just, full speed ahead, done the hard work it takes. Am I onto something there, or am I off in left field in the wrong way?
No, we're hoping we can keep going forward, keep getting bigger.
Well, let's talk about that. Where do you see the business going in coming years? I mean, when you say get bigger, just more of what you're doing. Would you like to expand into other lines or other locations? Where do you see this business in another 10 years or whenever in the future?
Hopefully another 10 years, I'll be at retirement. Then I guess Ciara and her husband have to deal with it. Me and my wife.
It'll be her turn to buy it out.
Uh,
I love it. The third
no, I'd
generation.
like
That'd be
to
cool.
get it to where we expand out, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
try to get it twice to what it is now, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's hard to find technical help and all that.
For sure. The people part of the equation is always the most challenging for me. What about you, Ciara? What's your vision for the future with the business and your career?
To hopefully own Parkinson's.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. It's you are on the right track. That's so cool. Well, I promised that I wouldn't keep. Oh wait, I got a question coming in here from Ryan, probably from me. When are we going to go to lunch? In March. Please call Heidi Ryan, and she will get you some dates, and we will make that happen in March. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, right. That's the most pressing question of the hour. So I promise I can get you guys out of here at a reasonable time, and we're coming up on that. But before I do, is there anything else on your mind, on your heart, anything at all you want to discuss with our viewers and listeners?
I don't think so.
No, if anybody's watching, I guess we'll let them know that we do water testing. We'll give you a printout of what you need for your chemicals and all that. We actually got a full store for chemicals and everything you need. So please stop by.
That's a great point. And it's that time of year to be getting all that stuff in shape so that when it warms up in here enough to swim, you're ready to roll. There are a lot of pools around our community right now that are greener and darker than, the Beatico Creek probably. So it's time to start getting your chemicals heading in the right direction. If you wouldn't mind, tell us where people can find you, both the location of your store, the phone numbers, websites, Facebook pages. How should people go about reaching out to you when they're in need of these services we've discussed?
We're at 957 East Pine Street. We are right next to the Lions Club. You can call us at the office, 985-386-5363. You can ask for me. My name's Ciara, or we have somebody else in the office. Her name's Rochelle. I'm there from 8 to 2 every day, and she's there from 10 to 4:30.
That was great. Thank you, Ciara. Steve, it really means a lot to me that you shared your time with us. But I'm not surprised you did, because I've seen you share so much with our community through Tark and others. Y'all are so generous. So on behalf of our little community here in Ponchatoula, we say thank you. You have for a very long time, for decades, been one of the best businesses that makes this place so special. And we're very grateful to have you right there on Main Street. There's no better reference point than next to the Lions Club. That's where virtually everything goes down, from the strawberry ball to every politician's fundraiser to whatever. So everybody knows where that is. To our listeners, our viewers, thank you for sticking with us to the end. Ponchatoula Live will be back next week, same time, same place. Y'all take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.